Hey everyone, Shabba Gamer here, and welcome back to our WWE 2K16 Universe mode, and this is the semi-finals of the Global Cruiserweight Championship. Now, the winners of these two semi-finals matches will go on to main event a special pay-per-view coming up this Saturday, and that is going to be the Global Cruiserweight Championship pay-per-view. We'll try and show off some of the best talent we've gained through this competition, and also mix in a few of the guys that are already on the roster. They're going to be part of our Cruiserweight division as well. So as you can see, our first semi-final is going to be Andrew Everett versus Kushida, and our second semi-final is going to be Phoenix taking on Will Ospreay, which I've just realised means that we have ended up with one American, one Japanese, one Mexican, and one British in the semi-finals. That's worked out quite nicely. But enough of me yabbing on, let's get into our first match. And here is the first of those semi-finals. Like I said, it's going to be Andrew Everett representing the American qualifiers, taking on Kushida, representing the Japanese qualifiers. And here we go. These two guys have now made their way to main event. The next step for these guys is either going to be headlining our special Cruiserweight pay-per-view, or it's going to be, of course, making their debut on Smackdown. Either way, we know that all 16 guys that are involved in this competition will be joining our Smackdown roster upon the completion of this this pretty cool tournament. It's been really fun actually to do. It's a nice little addition to the Universe mode, and that's what I want to try and do. I want to try and stay away from just doing the standard 4 episodes a week and getting a bit boring. I like to mix and match. I like to have these little bit of extra changes. So far we've done stuff with Smackdown. Thunder invaded Lucha Underground a few weeks back. Raw invaded ICW a few weeks before that. And I think at some point we want to try and do something with Nitro. I'm anticipating maybe Nitro going to New Japan and bringing back with them the likes of Tanahashi, Okada. It's difficult to say because we've stolen most of the guys from New Japan already. We've got Tanahashi and Okada. Maybe Michael Elgin. He's part of the New Japan roster now. Jay Lethal's part of the New Japan roster, as is Adam Cole. So we could really. We've already got, of course, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega over on Nitro as well. So, yeah, that would be a nice little addition, actually, doing something like that. So maybe we can do that in the next few weeks. Of course, we've got the Global Cruiserweight Championship special event coming up this weekend. Next weekend, we have our Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Maybe a week after that, so about 3 or 4 weeks away, we can do Nitro invades New Japan and see a few brand new people join our roster. That'd be pretty cool. But enough of Nitro. This is all about Smackdown now. Kushida has done very well so far, and this is where my memory tries to kick in now. Kushida defeated Hayabusa in the first round, and then he defeated Zack Sabre Jr. in the second round to make it here to the semi-finals. Andrew Everett defeated Ricochet, and then he defeated Jack Evans. No? Yeah. Yes, he did, yeah. To make it here to the semi-finals. So both these guys have done fantastically well so far, but they'll be hoping this is not the end of their journey. Both these guys want to go on and main event this pay-per-view on Saturday. Of course, only a few days away now. I hope you're looking forward to it as much as I am. And not only are we going to be crowning our first Cruiserweight champion, we're also going to name our #1 contendership for the very same championship as well when we have a 6-man ladder match. Unsure who's going to be in that ladder match yet. And there'll be a few of the guys that have been new to the roster, but of course we'll probably have some of the other guys as well that are already on the roster, guys like the Lucha Dragons that'll be part of this Cruiserweight division. And then potentially, if we can, I'm still looking at trying to do a trade-off between Nitro and Smackdown, so Nitro can... well, Smackdown want Neville from Nitro as one of the main men in their Cruiserweight division. Also, I'm thinking Hideo Itami could be part of the Cruiserweight division as well. I'll just flick through my books back to Nitro. Tyson Kidd, again, another good person that can be part of that group. So I'm wondering now whether that's 3 guys. Who can we trade off for 3 guys with Smackdown? I can't imagine Smackdown are going to want to lose the Wyatt family, but it could be a good trade-off. The Wyatt family moved to Nitro, so of course that'd be Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and Braun Strowman. And then in return, they would gain Tyson Kidd, Neville, and the other guy that I mentioned earlier. I forgot his name now. Hideo Itami. That could work. That could work. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else now that they'd have to add, because they are going to get 4 people for free, but I can't see anyone else that would really suit the Cruiserweight division. Apart from maybe Diego and Fernando. Maybe Los Matadors, Neville, Tyson Kidd and Hideo Itami traded off for the Wyatt family. What do you think of that? I know it's a 4 to 5 trade, but I think both rosters are doing pretty well. But Nitro's going to gain some real top-class talent, and Smackdown's going to gain a lot of boost for their Cruiserweight division as Kushida lines it up and dives over the top rope, clattering Andrew Everett on the outside. Yeah, I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that trade-off. Maybe we'll do that trade-off before the... See, it's going to be very, very difficult because I'm recording this ahead of time. I'm recording this a couple of weeks ahead of time. And as of the moment, I believe Hideo Itami is still the television champion. So maybe we might have to try and work that belt away from him. But I like doing that trade. And potentially we could try and do that trade for this weekend's pay-per-view. See if we can get it all working. Be pretty cool to see the likes of Neville, Diego and Fernando can be involved in some sort of tag team match, because we don't use Los Matadors at all really. I think they had no, they didn't. They've done nothing really. Los Matadors. I think they've had one match. They've lost to Blake and Murphy over on Nitro. That's all they've done in the last 3 months. So potentially put them on a roster where they can be involved in the Cruiserweight Championship is probably going to be the best thing for them as well. Belly to belly there by Andrew Everett, who's now taking a bit of extra time here, probably trying to regain a little bit of energy, a little bit of momentum here. He got caught by that big dive over the top by Kushida, and it looks like he's struggling now to really get his head back in the game as Kushida catches him with that punch to the gut, and now front chancery by Andrew Everett, sending Kushida into the corner. And Everett now goes up top, Lucha Libre style, head scissors taking Kushida down. In for the pin goes Everett. Is this going to be his position in the final in the main event of Global Cruiserweight Championship this Saturday? No, it's not. It's only enough for a 2 count. Andrew Everett again in now, hooking Kushida in. There's the page turner. We've seen him do well with that recently, mainly to set people up, potentially for a shooting star press. Brings Kushida away from the ropes. Standing moonsault. Now Everett bringing Kushida back up to his feet once again. There's a snapmare. And now Kushida just Everett just slowing this match down now. Just reverse chinlock on Kushida, keeping him grounded. Chance here for Everett to regain a little bit of energy, but Kushida's got different ideas. A couple of elbows to the gut of Everett, breaks himself free. Spins Everett round, catches him with that tornado reverse DDT. That's how he eliminated Zack Sabre Jr. in the quarterfinals. Is it going to be enough here for him to pick up the victory? And it is. Kushida with that reverse tornado DDT on Andrew Everett. It's enough for him to pick up the 3 count. And Kushida is going to be main eventing our Global Cruiserweight Championship pay-per-view this Saturday for a chance to become the first Cruiserweight Champion for our Smackdown brand. Great fun. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, who is Kushida going to be facing off against? That's going to be the big question. And this match was, I want to say it was a little bit either way, but it really was. I think Kushida got the majority of the main aggression. Beautiful move here by Andrew Everett. Went in for the pin, but it was not enough to pick up the 3 count. But here you see Kushida fighting back. He'd been taken down there by Everett. Fight back with a couple of elbows to the gut and spinning Everett round. Reverses him straight into that tornado DDT. And that was enough. I'm a little bit surprised, I must admit, but Kushida is very much worth the victory now. He has now eliminated Hayabusa. He's eliminated Jack Evans, and now he's eliminated Andrew Everett. So this man Kushida really deserves his place in the final. And let's see who he's going to be facing off against. And here is that second semi-final. It's Phoenix taking on Will Ospreay. And here we go. It was a long old loading screen that was. So long I forgot to talk. And here comes Phoenix. Now, Phoenix has defeated Angelico and Zack Sabre Jr. to make it to this. No, he hasn't. No, he's defeated Angelico and he's defeated Jushin Thunder Liger to make it here to the semi-finals. I should really write all this stuff down, shouldn't I, really? I'm trying to remember all this stuff off the top of my head. It's not gone down too well so far. Real danger, Phoenix, in this one, but then again, so is his opponent, Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay's defeated Mark Andrews, and he has defeated Matt Sydal to reach this part of the tournament. And I still fancy this side of the bracket. You know, I fancy the winner of this one to defeat Kushida. But then again, Kushida's in such good form. I don't know anymore. Kushida looks so looks lethal. Any man who defeats Hayabusa, Jack Evans, and Andrew Everett in the space of a few weeks is a man who deserves to be the champion. But then again, everyone is going to have to go through a hell of a journey to reach the Cruiserweight Championship. And I think even just for these guys to main event this first Cruiserweight Championship pay-per-view coming up on Saturday is going to be enough to give them a nice boost, a nice kick into this universe mode. As Everett slides into the ring. That's not Everett, that's Will Ospreay, that is. Yeah, Will Ospreay, I did mention a couple of weeks ago, actually, from what I've been reading recently, WWE were a little bit annoyed they missed out on Ospreay. They wanted to try and bring him in for the Global Cruiserweight Championship, but he'd already signed up on a 2-year deal with New Japan. From what I read, it sounded like WWE were almost considering going into New Japan and trying to buy that contract out, but I'm sure New Japan will be pretty much against that at the moment, especially since they gave Will Ospreay the best of the Super Juniors win. So they're really pushing Will Ospreay, and I don't think they want to lose him. Plus, WWE have already announced all the guys that are going to be involved in the Global Cruiserweight Championship now. So if they were to bring a guy like Will Ospreay in, they'd have to get rid of one guy. And it's sad news as well. I've been reading recently that Amazing Red was originally scheduled to be in that Global Cruiserweight Championship, and he had a bad injury, and then from that he had an operation where the operation went wrong. He had to have a second operation within a matter of days to reduce the chance of getting an infection, and then he had to have a third operation within a few days after that as well to fix the problems that the first operation caused. So he's had a real monster of a time, Amazing Red, and it's a real shame. And I think WWE might still consider him, because if you think that Amazing Red, Chase Owens and TJ Perkins, of course TJ Perkins part of the Global Cruiserweight Championship, but the other guys, they've all done the work backstage for the 2K games. Those are the guys that do a lot of the moves, the mapping for the game, and they're obviously good enough. If they can complete all the moves on this game, then there's no reason why they shouldn't bring him in to the roster, really, is there? Depends what they're going to do, and it depends how mad they go with the draft split as well, how many people they're going to consider having on each show. I think at the end of the day, that they said they're going to have to go aggressive and they're going to have to bring up loads of NXT talent, but I don't know how much they're going to have to bring up, because of course they're only going to have one show a week to fill, and obviously they're going to have half the amount of live shows to do as well. And potentially, I've been reading there could be 2 separate pay-per-views per month as well. Each brand getting their own brand pay-per-view per month, which would be interesting. Something I didn't consider. I considered shared pay-per-views and mixing the big ones, but at the moment it looks like they're going to mix the big ones, but they're going to have individual pay-per-views once a month. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I don't know whether I'd rather see individual pay-per-views once a month, or whether I would rather see individual pay-per-views every other month, because you have 8 weeks to build up to a feud. It works a little bit better than some of the feuds at the moment that are quite rushed. Big powerbomb there by Phoenix as Ospreay went for some sort of head scissors maneuver. Phoenix now just wrenching that leg and pulling it back, and painful move there. Ospreay's not going to be happy with that. Phoenix brings him back up to his feet, sending Ospreay into the corner. What's Phoenix got in the locker here? Taking Ospreay up top. This is not a situation you want to be in. If you're Ospreay, there's a Frankensteiner. Beautiful move by Phoenix. Straight into the pin he goes. Is it going to be enough to guarantee him a spot in that main event at the Global Cruiserweight Championship pay-per-view coming up this Saturday? No, it's not. It's only enough for a 2 count. And now Phoenix locking in that head scissors and a few elbows to the top of the head of Will Ospreay, just trying to confuse him. If you hit the head enough times, you can sort of just knock your opponent silly, really. Elbow drop by Phoenix, now bringing Ospreay back up to his feet. And I was just about to say that Phoenix is dominating just as Ospreay turns this one around. Standing corkscrew moonsault by Ospreay. Brings Phoenix back up to his feet. Rolls him through into a pinning maneuver. Is it going to be enough? Referee, oh my god. That was a 3 count before the referee got down. God, they're so slow, these referees in the game. You'd think they'd write some sort of trigger in there, so when the guy goes for the move, the referee already starts going down for the pin. But at the moment, the referee is just so slow. That's one of the slowest I've seen him, I think. Ospreay front chancery, bringing Phoenix into the middle. There's a Hurricanrana. Rolls Phoenix over. Phoenix slowly getting back up to his feet. Caught Ospreay with a punch to the gut, but Ospreay now turns him around into a neck breaker. Oh, and he's nicely positioned. If Ospreay wants to go for it, he doesn't want to go for it yet. Of course, I'm talking about the inverted 450. Ospreay now pulling Phoenix into the middle of the ring. Big boot to the gut of Phoenix. Again, bringing Phoenix back up to his feet. Saito suplex. And where's Ospreay off to? What is Ospreay doing? He's taken the top off the announce table. No. Come on, Will. You've got to keep. You've got to keep your cool. You've got to do what you need to do. And now you've been caught out here. Now Phoenix had a chance to creep up behind you and bring you back in the ring. And all of a sudden, from having full control of this match, Will Ospreay's just thrown it away by taking the top off the announce table. But back in now with that punch to the gut of Phoenix. Phoenix catches Ospreay there with that front chancery. Puts Ospreay against the ropes. Springboard cutter. Great move. Brings Ospreay back up to his feet. Phoenix. Front chancery. There's a jawbreaker. Phoenix again bringing Ospreay back up to his feet. And I think Ospreay, since he took the top of the announce table, seems to have just lost it a little bit in his mind. He was focused, he was in control, and now all of a sudden he seems to have lost it and becoming a bit more aggressive. And now again coming to the outside with Phoenix, and Phoenix just kicking Ospreay down. If Ospreay had just stayed in the ring and been clever about it, he could have done well here. But now Ospreay now bringing Phoenix down to his level. Bringing Phoenix back up to his feet. But Phoenix sends Ospreay straight back into the ring. Phoenix knows this match can only be won inside the ring, and that's where he wants to keep Ospreay. He wants to take advantage of Ospreay just sort of losing his head a little bit at the moment. Phoenix now sending Ospreay over the top and again dropping to the outside. And now Phoenix maybe deciding that going to the outside is a good idea. Sending Ospreay into the barricade. One just rams him back first into that barricade as well. And Ospreay might be seriously reconsidering his decision to try and take this match to the outside earlier on. Why he took the top off the announce table, I don't know if he's trying to make a statement here in the Universe mode, but he's already made a statement. He's in the semi-finals of the Global Cruiserweight Championship. What else do you need to do? As Phoenix takes Ospreay up onto his shoulders. Inverted Death Valley driver, dropping Ospreay flat on his head. And surely this is going to be enough to guarantee a Phoenix versus Kushida. Whoa. Whoa. And Mr. Ospreay is kicked out. How on earth has Ospreay just kicked out of that inverted Death Valley driver? I saw his head crash on the mat. I thought he was out. I thought he was knocked unconscious, let alone staying down for the 3 count. Ospreay with that loose fisherman suplex. Now just taunting the grounded Phoenix, and Ospreay really needs to to stay on track this time. He's got control of the match. He needs to keep his head, but Phoenix back in control. There's the snapmare. Locking in that headlock on Will Ospreay now. Both guys back up. Ospreay in control of a headlock of his own. Phoenix with a boot to the calf. Went for that discus elbow, but Ospreay blocked it. Now sending Phoenix into the corner. Phoenix fights back with a back elbow. Reversals galore at the moment. Northern Light suplex bridge. The pin. Is it going to be enough to keep Ospreay down? He doesn't look like he's got a lot of energy left, and he did not. And Phoenix does finally pick up the 3 count. So we now know that our main event for our Global Cruiserweight Championship special pay-per-view coming up this Saturday is going to be Kushida taking on Phoenix for the first Cruiserweight Championship in our Smackdown universe. Mate, one of those guys are going to make history and become the first champion. And the other guy is going to be very disappointed about coming down from 16 down to 2 and losing at the last hurdle. That's going to be gutting for one of those two guys. But we're going to see a hell of a match. We're going to see a hell of a pay-per-view as well. And remember, we are going to have that 6-man ladder match to crown the #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship as well. And I think a guy like Will Ospreay is going to be an incredible person to have in that ladder match. I think it would only be fair if the two beaten semi-finalists, Will Ospreay and, of course, the other guy, Andrew Everett, are both in that ladder match. But we'll confirm that as we come on to Saturday, because I'm recording this a couple of weeks ahead of time and I'm probably going to forget. So, yeah. You know what I'm like. You've probably seen it in the past before. I say I'm going to do stuff and then I completely forget by the time I go to record the next week's episode. I do try and note them all down, but then I end up losing my notes. It's a big game, really. And there's a Northern Light suplex that finished the match off for Phoenix against Will Ospreay. So a great win here for Phoenix and a great win earlier on for Kushida. These two guys are going to be main eventing the Global Cruiserweight Championship pay-per-view coming up this Saturday. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. It's only a few days away now, and it's going to be a full card. We're going to see some cracking matches, and potentially we're going to see that draft swap I was talking about earlier, because I think that could be beneficial for everyone involved, because it would be a nice little freshen up for Nitro as well. Getting some guys in like Bray Wyatt can really open up some of the potential feuds. So if you have enjoyed this episode, then please be an absolute star and hit that like button. It really does help me out. And of course, if you are new around here, then be sure to hit that subscribe button at the same time. And keep an eye out for a lot more good WWE 2K16 footage. I've been Chevy Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on Saturday for the finale of the Global Cruiserweight Championship.